Okay. Assalamualaikum. So today we're going to talk about reactions to ignorance. Now, in the last video, we talked about really simple misconceptions, but you'll definitely run into people who are very adamant and extremely ignorant about Islam. And this will be a video about how you should react as a pious Muslim. Okay, first, if you are debating with somebody and it gets to the point that you're no longer debating but arguing with them, simply say, I either tell them, I really gotta go, it was nice talking to you, or just leave the conversation. Because a debate, especially with somebody who's completely adamant and not listening to you, can turn into an argument.
Yeah,
and then it looks like Muslims are, you know what I mean? It gives a bad example for Muslims. Another tip, such as the burning the Quran day.
Oh, man. Okay.
Muslims, calm down. Calm down. God, that's what I feel like telling the whole world. Calm down.
So it is a big thing. Okay, they're burning the Book of Allah. It is a big deal
because their intention.
Yeah, but we have to understand that you cannot conquer their ignorance with violence, because that's only gonna, like, in their mind, it's already, Muslims are a certain way. Doing that, it's gonna, like, add to it. It's gonna
they already call you terrorists, and then when they why?
Yeah. Okay, so I remember Wissam Sharif came down for the Bayina course, and he gave this really good, I guess, he said this really good thing where he was like, all the Terry Jones in the world could try and burn down, like, every Quran there is, but it's still not going to extinguish the word of Allah, because we're all the, like, the Hafiz, like, all the people that have memorized the Quran cover to cover, they're all going to get together, and
every Muslim who knows pretty much just 30.
Exactly. It's all going to come together, and the Quran will never, like, it was God's promise for the people that the Quran will never, He will protect the Quran, and so you have to understand this, and you have to, what is the best way to react? It's not. I remember this one girl I talked to. She said, "Yeah, we should kill Terry Jones. Like somebody should really try and kill him." And I was like, back up, hold on, whoa, I'm not part of this conversation.
Yeah, and then it's just like people already see you as terrorists. Why are you gonna add to it? There's a stereotype out there. Just go against it on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, yeah. People just went insane over that. And it's kind of like, breathe. And then what would Muhammad do?
Yeah. It is a big.
What would Muhammad do?
It is a big deal. You have to understand that the best way to react to something like that is by enhancing. I remember Yasser Qadhi said something like this: how even though there's Quran burning going on, our best way is to learn more about the Quran, to appreciate it even more,
because you never know. Maybe you won't be able to hold it every day.
Exactly, and so that's our duty. We should, instead of focusing on violence, learn to follow the path of peace instead.
So please breathe before you react to ignorance. That'd be a very good idea.
Another thing, the niqab ban. There's a lot of other stuff, the current events that happen.
Current events, the niqab ban. Some Muslims are going against Muslims, right? This is not... Okay, in Islam, we need to show unity. The Prophet preached unity. So I know there are scholars who are against niqab, for niqab, but honestly, do we really need to help the people who are against niqab? All these people and random Muslims on CNN, they're bringing... It just makes it look like Islam is so not unifying. Because the fact that they can bring a Muslim on there to try to get another Muslim not to be able to show her rights.
The niqab is just an extension of modesty. I mean, the hijab is a minimum.
Yes.
And the niqab is an extension of it.
I know, personally, the niqab, because you can't wear it at Hajj, so some Muslims are like, why even wear it? Okay, I get the point that, some Muslims don't agree with hijab, some Muslims are completely for hijab, but that's not the point. The point is in Islam we should be unified, and so
support your brothers
and sisters. I really don't care if you agree with hijab. I really don't care if you agree with niqab or not, but it's not haram. So if it's not haram, then there's no reason for you to go against another Muslim on national TV.
Yeah,
and then it just makes Islam look horrible. Stay with your brothers and sisters. Stay with them. Actually,
and it's not just that.
Here's a good one. Okay, the Prophet said that it's in the hadith that the wolf, shaitan, eats from the straying pack. Stay close to the ummah.
Nice.
Yeah, because the wolf is not going to attack the pack. The wolf isn't. One wolf against 30 sheep. No. The wolf is going to get that sheep that's wandering around over there away from the ummah. So stay with your ummah in order to stay a strong Muslim. Support your brothers and sisters.
And we're supposed to, love one another, like, make excuses for another, like...
protect...
always give each other the benefit of the doubt.
Fourth one. Protect your Muslim brothers and sisters. If somebody says something bad about your Muslim brothers and sisters...
make excuses for them.
If you know something bad... If I know that she, I don't know, was dancing over there... if she started dancing, I'm not
want to see that.
I'm not about to keep that and go tell everyone. I keep it to myself, because you don't want Muslims to look bad. Yeah, you know what I mean? If I just started going, like... freaking out, she would keep that a secret because you don't want my reputation. Never put another Muslim's reputation on the line. Just keep it between yourself. There's no reason to spread it. No backbiting. Come on.
Exactly. That's a whole other video.
Backbiting's a whole other video, but this is just a little tidbit.
Okay.
Be good to your Muslim brothers. Well, that was just a short video on how to combat ignorance.
One more. Okay.
One more.
So, I think I just watched a recent lecture by Noman Ali Khan.
Oh gosh.
He's our recent favorite. And so he said that a lot of people we always spend so much time explaining what Muslims are not. We're always like, we are not terrorists. We are not oppressors of women. We are not blah blah blah. But what people don't know is what Muslims are. So we need to, instead focusing on just what Muslims are not, we need to spend the time to show what Muslims really are. What do they believe in? Who is Allah? Because a lot of people, like, I remember he said, a lot of youth these days think that Allah, he'll punish all those, the day of judgment, etc., etc. But they need to understand, the first thing they need to, come out of their mouth is that Allah is merciful. They need to know the mercies of Allah, and
before you say what you can't do, you have to know what you can.
What you can do, exactly. So we need to, try to, show the beauty of Islam, because that's what Islam is. We need to spread the mercy of Allah. Who Allah is, and spread the main things before we get on to what we're not. Because we spend so much time.
What we can't do, what you shouldn't do, what Muslims aren't doing.
Yeah.
But what are Muslims doing?
Exactly.
What can you do? What?
We spend so much time in what we're not doing, but we don't focus on what we are doing.
Yes.
And so, and also another way to really, I think this is the final thing I'm going to say, that conquering ignorance, I think the most beneficial way to do that is by example. Leading a good example is probably the main way that you can make an impact on people. Because if people, when people, Buddha Muhammad also had a poem where he said, kill them with love, don't attack with violence or with cursing, or, because I know when your religion is attacked, this is such a main part of our life, you get really defensive and people start cursing and people start arguing and all this stuff. But are you really setting a good example for Islam? By supporting Islam, is that the example we're giving? And so we need to understand that we need to set a good example for our Muslim brothers and sisters. We need to set a good example of Islam. And so instead of show them with your actions, don't show them just by words. When somebody's rude to you, just forgive them, and be even nicer to them.
It's better to forgive than to attack them. You get more deeds.
Yeah,
and you have to remember, key thing, rightfully, the people loved the Prophet before he was Prophet. That's why it was so hard for them. That's why that's why it was so hard for the Prophet, because they loved him. They loved him before he was Muslim. So, he was a lovable guy. And Muslims need to be lovable people.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for watching. Mission Dawa.
Jazakallah khair. Keep following us. Assalamu alaikum.